Now for the science bit, a brief outline of how Sky 3D works. 3D stereoscopic content is produced by creating two views of the same scene with two separate cameras, slightly offset to simulate the distance between the viewer's eyes. These images are projected simultaneously through a 3D TV to an audience wearing filtered or shuttered 3D glasses. The two views are sent to the appropriate left and right eyes, where the brain fuses the images together, giving the viewer a strong illusion of depth into and out of the screen, creating a lifelike 3D image. Very clever stuff.
When the first of the crew arrive in the morning, the big job is parking all the TV trucks out backstage. It's 2D HD trucks, there's the 3D trucks.
So typically we would be on site maybe the day before the match to get the cameras in place and set up where everything is worked and tested.
The technical crew will come in.
One of the big differences between the 2D and the 3D OBs are that we have extra crew on site.
They will start building the cameras.
And the 3D cameras take a lot longer to set up than the 2D.
They will start rigging the VTRs in the truck and all the rest of the technical equipment.
We've got a crew of around 150 people. I believe for the Ryder Cup it was nearer to 300 people.
The lights are pointed, the cameras are tested, the crew come in.
And production teams will arrive anytime from midday onwards.
And we check everything works.
And then after that, the rest of the production team, so the director, producer and assistant producers will turn up just in time really to have something to eat, kind of settle down, get used to it. We check all of the cameras are working as they should be, that the 3D is set up as it should be, and it's pleasant viewing.
The doors open and the public come in, and we have to be ready to show you what they see.
Logistically, it is a much bigger effort.
It's a big job.
This is the side-by-side rig, which is often used for wider shots at the back of arenas and stadiums.
Which enables the convergent operators and the stereographer to create the 3D image by putting the two cameras further apart, in effect moving your eyeballs further apart, which helps the stereo image.
This is physically the left and the right eye of the camera, and so what we'll do the truck end is create a separation.
The output of these two cameras goes back to the convergence area. There is a convergence operator for each camera.
This is convergence operations where it's a new job where we actually set the 3D content within the picture. So it's a good experience for the viewer. Isn't so extreme that it gives them headaches.
Pitch side, we're actually working a lot closer to the action, and to get that effect of 3D, as we call it, we're using a thing called a mirror rig, which is two cameras, one overlaid over the top using a mirror, which enables the eyes to get much closer together, which enhances the 3D imagery when players are getting right close up to the camera.
If I separate the two images here, what you're seeing is left and right images separately. One is white, one is black, and we can see by how far they separate how much 3D there would be within the picture. So we're always reacting to what we see on screen and keep it within acceptable limits.
Overseeing those convergence operators is a stereographer who will liaise with the director before the event to work out what amount of 3D the director feels is right for that event.
The challenge for the director is really getting to those low 3D shots that really bring that 3D wow factor through to the viewer.
The effect of 3D is much more enhanced down below, which is where we'd love to be, but unfortunately a lot of stadiums it's hard work getting cameras that close.
We have to be very mindful of the fans' line of sight. The 2D cameras tend to be on the higher up positions, but for 3D we put much more lower positions, so in the corners of the pitch, and those then obviously block seats. So we have to put quite a bit of effort into minimising the impact that has on the fans, but also not compromising what we're trying to do as well.
I think generally in 3D you shoot things a little bit looser than you would do in 2D. What I also find is that you stay on shots longer so that the viewer has time to appreciate the 3D depth in the picture. It really feels as if the players are there in your front room with you.
As cameraman, we've been involved heavily with Sky Sports doing 2D and HD, and now moving to 3D we found we've had to step back a little bit at the pace we actually film at. It's quite amazing when you watch 3D how much information is given across in the screen.
And also that you end up directing the cameras while you're on the shot much more than you do in 2D, so you're developing the picture more whilst the ball is in the frame and the players are in the frame.
So rather than going for the big close-ups, the fast cutting, the following the ball very quickly, we're tending to hopefully back off with the camera, allowing people to enjoy the spectacle. A bit like going to the theatre maybe, where you can sit back and scan the whole image rather than being led to certain small areas by the director or the cameraman.
When you get a good 3D experience, it makes you feel like you're literally down there with the camera. You're pitch side with the players.
Having worked on Sky 3D football for the last year, to be invited to supervise the Ryder Cup was a bit of a challenge. Unfortunately, the weather didn't really help much, but on the Monday, it was amazing to see the product that we produced. You actually saw Graham McDowell hold the winning putt to win the Ryder Cup for Europe, which was just a proud moment to see it in 3D.
This 3D radio camera that we're using here is something that has been built specifically for Sky's requirements. You can see that it's got the look about it of something that hasn't been manufactured in a factory, and it's more kind of been put together. It's one of the great things about being involved with Sky and projects like 3D. It's the willingness of Sky to work on developing new technologies. It's quite an achievement.